Hi. I found you. I think there's a windmill somewhere around here.
But the windmill's that way.
Don't believe it. Windmill's closed. Oh well. I didn't actually want to talk about windmills today. What I wanted to talk about was the Go Ultra Low campaign that the government's got, which for some reason doesn't seem to acknowledge the existence of Tesla at all. But kind of strange that. They've recently released a survey results, which seem to be perpetuating this wonderful myth that sort of 98% of people drive less than 100 miles every day. Yes, but every day 98% of people don't drive less than 100 miles. There are some days when they want to drive more than that. And that really is the problem for electric cars, is that most people don't want to be in that situation where the car that they've bought will do most of the journeys that they want to do in a car. They want to be able to do all the journeys.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Bye bye,
All three of us
everybody.
sometimes. No, you can't have that cake poppet.
Cuddle.
Okay, cuddles. Hang on. Coming. Oh, right, so just tie my head.
I love small local bakeries. Unfortunately, they were just about to close, so they didn't have any bread for me. So what exactly is it about the Go Ultra Low program that I'm not particularly keen on? Well, whether it includes Tesla in it or not is sort of more or less irrelevant, really. What it really is that it doesn't seem like they really know what electric car drivers want or need, and it doesn't really seem like they know what will actually promote electric cars and other ultra-low emission vehicles to the wider public. So if I had my wish list, if I could think of the things that I think the government should do that I believe would really make a massive difference, I think one of the first things is it's a big problem for people that don't have a house, people that have an apartment or a flat, or just somewhere that doesn't have even a terrace house, but one that doesn't have its own dedicated parking space. It's very difficult to find somewhere to charge, and the reality is that with batteries, you really want to have the ability to charge it overnight. That's quite an important thing. So to support that, what I think the government should do is make it a legal requirement for the council to support the installation of a charging point at a parking space in the street. So, you know, let's say you live in a terraced house, you park your car out the front, you buy an electric car. That ought to give you the right to force the council to allow you to put in a charging point. I'm not saying that the council have to pay for it necessarily, but they certainly shouldn't stand in the way. And it's the same if you're an apartment dweller and there's a car park underneath and you've got a dedicated parking space, let's say. The management company for those apartments shouldn't be able to stand in the way of you getting a charge point put in. I think those are sort of fairly simple things. I don't see any reason why there shouldn't be a charge point in in an underground garage. So why shouldn't they put a charge point in? Something I think they do generally speaking is most car parks over a certain size have to have electric charging bays installed for to get planning permission, I think, in the UK. So that's a good thing. But I really think at this point, if you want to get a planning permission for a new petrol station, I don't see any reason why they can't make it a requirement that a proper fast charger with a minimum 50 kilowatt DC charge point be part of that planning permission. And in addition to that, I think the government needs to do something about the charging networks, the fact that everybody has to have their own little card in order to run a charge point. So what I think they should do is they should make it a legal requirement that you can use a credit card. Contactless payments are everywhere. I see no reason why you shouldn't be able to start and stop a charger with a contactless payment. It wouldn't cost very much. How can it cost a lot? And if you make a few changes like this, then I think the public will see that electric cars are a viable alternative, and then something like the Go Ultra Low program has got a good chance of actually trying to convince people that it's worth making the change, and that if they make that change, they're going to have a better driving experience. I mean, what got me into electric cars, it's not anything to do with saving the environment. That's a nice bonus, but it's not the reason why. The reason why is because they're just more fun to drive. Basically, I went for a test drive in a Nissan Leaf 4 years ago. Didn't think for a second that I would actually get a Nissan Leaf. Just wasn't on my radar at all. But as soon as I drove it, I remember I got about 30-40 yards out of the dealership forecourt, and I thought, wow, got to have this car. And so I did, and I made it work for 2 years. And with low range, it does require a little bit of making it work, but it can be done. And I would highly recommend it to anyone. I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, don't forget to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. And I'll see you tomorrow. Don't know what we're going to cover tomorrow. I'll have to have a think. Bye!
I found the bridge right over here. A tower bridge. We're going to a tower.
We're going to a tower bridge.
Isn't that in London?